In this video, I want to show you how the fancy opt-in form creator works. What this does is it creates a nice looking opt-in form to your specifications. You can use custom images if you want on both the header and the footer. You can use any type of color you want inside the opt-in box form itself. You can use a header above the box where they put in their information, their email or their name or whatever you're asking for, and you can also put text underneath that, and you can set the fonts, set the borders. There's all kinds of things you can do with this. So let me just get right to it. First, you select a header image from your computer. Now, if you don't want to use header images, you don't have to. And same with the footer, you don't have to use a footer image either. But if you want to make it look really good and you have some custom images, you can do it here. Okay, so just click on this to select the image. Okay, and I created a couple quick ones here, so I'll select the header. Okay, next what you need to do is set the header width in pixels. We need to do this because we need to make sure everything is the same size. Now I notice it says 0 here as a default, and it does that in case you're not using a header image. So if we had left the header image blank there, we just leave this at 0 so we don't get a blank image showing up like a pixel with an X through it. That's why we have the 0 here. But what we need to do now is get the size of that image. So just go to where your images are and then right click, go to properties, and then go to details. And you'll see the dimensions here. So we want 350. So I put 350 in the software. Now if you're using an image, you also need to set the form width the same as your image width. Okay, select the footer image. We also have a custom footer. The width of the opt-in form. Now I just said that since our image is 350, our opt-in form has to be 350. If you're not using images, then you can set this at any width you want. Your form width, is it in pixels or a percent? Okay, so what we're going to do is select which one we want. Now, if you're using a image, then you have to use pixels here. And if you didn't use an image, you can use either a pixels or a percentage. Percentage indicates the width of the table the form is in or the page the form is in. So we'll click pixels here because we're using an image. Now we'll click next. Okay, the background color for your opt-in form, I'm going to use a yellow color here. And I'm going to use a hex code, and you see hex codes need to have the pound sign at the front there if you're going to use a hex code. You can also use words like white and black, for instance, for your color codes. Okay, so next. Okay, the width of your border in pixels. I'm just going to leave this at 4, but you can set this as wide or as narrow as you like. The style of your border, we have several different styles we can use here. I'm just going to go with solid. Okay, the color for your border, I'm going to leave this as black, but you can set it to whatever you want here. Okay, the text you want above the input form. This is where the email and stuff goes in, right above that. So whatever you want here, usually you have some sort of header over top. This is what I'm going to use here. Just fill in your email address below to get your free course or whatever you would normally put there. Okay, the font family. We have different font families we can use. We're going to choose Impact for this one. Choose whichever one you like. Click Next. And the size in pixels, I'm going to make this bigger at 28. Click Next. Okay, the font color for the text. And the text you want under the form. Okay, so this is beneath the email form, so you can put text in here if you want, like a warning that they need to click the link or whatever you want in here. I'm just going to put a privacy statement in here. Click Next. The font family again, just pick a different one here. Click Next. Okay, and the size in pixel, let's reduce this to 8. The font color of the text under the input form, leave it at black. And our autoresponder code in here. This is where you get your form code and you put it in. Could be from any autoresponder. I'm using Aweber with just an email, and that's all that's in it. There's no formatting at all. You can use any autoresponder that you like here, whether it has its own form designer or not. Okay, so let's generate. Okay, we need to tell it where we're going to save it. Click OK. And now, here's what it looks like. This is what it created for us from what we put in. And then our form has been created for us. Here it is here. Now if you double click on this, here's what it looks like in the browser. And what we can do now is we can open this. Let's do an open with Notepad here. Okay, this is the code it created. You'll notice I have some tags around it. It says insert the code between these tags into the header. So between the header tags, you put the style in there. And then down below, that is your opt-in form that is created below here, where it says table. Just put all of this code down here into your website where you want the opt-in form to be shown. Okay, so that's how you use this software to create an opt-in form.